Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Lord, my head don't care. You see how I'm coming. But, you know, I got braids coming on the way or whatever. Right now, y'all gonna get the scruff of a gruff. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop to actually support the movement. Get yourself some paraphernalia, just like this icy white BFN hoodie, you know what I'm saying? But we got stuff like this, all in different colors, shapes, and sizes. And, you know what I mean? Different styles as well, different gear. So, you know what I mean? Definitely support us and we continue to support y'all. Now, very interesting. You actually had the first hearing done by lawmakers yesterday in the United States with regards to the insurrection that took place on January 6th. That's where all them crackers basically stormed the Capitol building, right? Now, you had former Capitol Police Chief Stephen Son that actually took the stand. He was basically saying that, I mean, overall, the blame was given towards intelligence failures. Stephen Son specifically was saying that he got no warning from the FBI intelligence, and there was nothing, and specifically he called out the Secretary of Homeland Security didn't send any heads up or anything like that, basically. And he's like, they understood that there was going to be a mass demonstration, maybe with a threat of violence or whatever. I guess like your typical MAGA rallies and shit, whatever. But what they got was actually a full-on military-style assault. Now, you also had now he resigned, like, you know, right after that insurrection happened on January 6th, as well as the House Sergeant at Arms, Paul Urban, and the Senate Sergeant at Arms, Michael Stenger, when they all pretty much said that they didn't get any warnings, despite the fact that the FBI had actually sent out an intelligence report basically saying, you know, telling people to expect violence, like to expect that it was going to be, you know, a lot of violence, and that they even like showed a note or something that they had pulled from online that was basically a call out to everybody who was planning to attend the MAGA rally of that day, basically saying, you know what I mean, get ready to be violent. You know what I mean? This is an all-out attack on Congress. You know, Congress needs to hear, you know, glass shattering and doors breaking. You know, stop calling this a march or a rally. Basically, this is a war. You know what I mean? Be there ready to fight. You know, it is we have our president or die. So it was that type of energy towards it in this letter that apparently the FBI sent out. So somebody is doing some snake shit. Like, well, they either got the letter or they didn't, and somebody lying on the stand. I guess, you know, the story will unfold. But also, Robert Conti, who's actually the acting Washington police chief, actually has said that he blames the Department of Homeland Security because there was no response in regards to like sending the National Guard in. Like, it was very delayed, and whereas they should have like definitely been there, it was kind of like there was kind of like an attachment to the plan that was already in place, when it was just like, no, it's obvious that there's going to be mass violence, like they need to be here or whatever. So that's the sentiment, man. Somebody capping though. We know you can see bullshit, you know, when especially it's like on a stage like that, whatever. If all these conflicting stories over one event, I mean, somebody fronting. Green War and Graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So they had the Senate confirmation hearing yesterday for where the Senate actually confirmed Linda Thomas Greenfield to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, as well as Tom Vilsack to actually be the head of the Department of Agriculture, or the Secretary of Agriculture rather. So now his previous tenure was actually with the USDA, so you got a lot of like environmental and labor activists that are pushing for him to actually be more caring about, like, you know, worker safety and actually removing these farm factories from being so toxic, or from the toxic expansion of these you know, pollutant farm factories, and as well as actually trying to go for more sustainable and independent farm work. Now, in other news though, with the Senate hearings, you had Senate grilling Deb Haaland, you know, the New Mexico congresswoman, for her position as the Interior Secretary, you know, asking her, you know how the Republicans get down, they was asking her about, if, you know, what she's doing with, you know, oil and fracking, if she's trying to shut that down, whatever. And, you know, her response is like, you know, there's no doubt that, you know, the oil industry is like a vital part to American life and revenue, but you know, the climate change got to be addressed. So it seemed like she wanted to attack him from a balanced standpoint. I don't know. We'll see how that shit goes out, though. And then you had Xavier Becerra, you know, former Attorney General for California, who's actually up for the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary spot, who was getting grilled about the not only the Affordable Care Act, but also whether he was going to use taxpayer money to fund abortions. And you know, I got asked that by Mike Braun, you know what I mean, one of the senators. You know what side of the aisle he on, and he was just like, I mean, you know, we're going to disagree with more, you know, a lot of issues or whatever, but what I can guarantee is that I'm going to follow the law. And you know what that means, man. Roe versus Wade, it already has abortion as being legal. So that motherfucker's still trying to make this shit illegal. Like, what are y'all trying to turn us into out here, man? What, fucking Poland or something? I don't know, man. Shit is real spooky with that shit. And I think some of y'all is a little bit obsessed with it and really should get spiritual on, like, you know, because I don't think we should be going gung-ho. I mean, everybody getting an abortion either. Everybody need to really just get on it spiritually. Like, where does a soul go into a body? Like, and you know, if there's some soul searching that really needs to go on to make that to understand that shit, make it happen. Do some meditation. You know what I mean? Meet some monks or something. I don't know, man. We gotta figure that out though. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. Yeah, you know, Scruff McGruff on here don't care, you know what I mean? Coming on with them braids soon, but right now I just still gotta give y'all that real though. Right now we got the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package that's actually gonna get voted on by the House of Representatives this Friday. Now, there is the bill actually has a $15 minimum wage clause in it, basically, that would make the federal minimum wage that much, but it actually faces some static even from the Democrats, because the Democrats, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema of Arizona, that are actually opposed to it. Manchin actually wants to raise it to just $11 an hour. Now, for some people this is black and white, but for others not so much, because I mean, you got to think about some of these businesses on if they can even call themselves a business after having to pay their workers $15 an hour. See, a lot of my followers or whatever come from the city, but everybody not from the city, you know what I'm saying? So I just say that to say I don't know exactly know the economics on it or whatever, and if you got that, share that. But it ain't always, you know, it ain't just black and white just because, you know, you feel like if you work in the city and you work at McDonald's or whatever in New York City, like, yeah, you need to be getting at least $15 an hour. You probably should. But Green War and Graduation, though. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So, consumer advocacy group, Public Citizen, is actually calling on the United States to for a temporary waiver on intellectual property protections over the coronavirus vaccines. Now, keep in mind, the U.S. is currently blocking this attempt at a waiver of the World Trade Organization's rule that basically guarantees monopolies for drug companies within a country, and it contributes to what they call vaccine nationalism, basically, or allowing like the big countries, the more powerful countries, to hoard all of the vaccines to themselves. As of last week, 130 countries haven't had a single dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Now, to keep that in perspective, I mean, shit, it's probably like, what, anywhere from 190 to 200 something countries in the world, you know what I mean? These numbers change and fluctuate depending on war and different shit or whatever, like, but that's what type of time we dealing with, whatever. So definitely vaccine nationalism. We'll see how this turns out. Green War and Graduation. This report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So over in Lebanon, a scandal has erupted where you actually have the World Bank threatening to cut off funding for the country's vaccination program after lawmakers in parliament had been found to be in there in the cut taking doses of the COVID-19 vaccine ahead of people who were actually registered on a priority list. So while you got that going on in Lebanon, over in Israel, you actually have 200 members of this human rights group full of rabbis known as Teruah, and they're calling on the Israeli government to basically to make sure that they distribute vaccines to Palestinians, talking about how, like, you know what I mean, morally and legally it would behoove them to do so, you know what I'm saying, because to at least to vaccinate the Palestinians of the occupied territories. You know, these are settlements that, you know, the world recognizes as being occupied illegally by Israel. So the least you could do is vaccinate the people there, and it's the most effective thing to do. So we'll see how that turns out, though. Green War and graduation. Reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. Definitely get yourself some paraphernalia, some gear to support the movement as we continue to support y'all. You see me in this icy white hoodie, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got it in different color shapes and sizes too, though. But also go to blackfoxnews.com/opportunities. You know what I mean? We got advertising deals, we got internship gigs, and the whole nine. You know what I mean? Make sure you check that out, and if support us and do some business with us. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to get your business off the ground. If you got something that you're trying to promote, whether it's clothing, whether it's music, whether it's a TV show, whether it's just you want a picture of yourself floating around here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can fuck with us as we continue to fuck with y'all. Now, check this out. Over in New York, the grand jury up there has refused to file charges against the Rochester police after they killed Daniel Prue. Rest in peace to Daniel Prue. This was a black man who died in last March of asphyxiation. Now, this is somebody who is basically, he died when, you know what I mean, they handcuffed him while he was naked, put a hood over his head, you know what I mean, put him down on the ground. It was cold as hell outside, and then they kneeled on his back for two minutes, and he died from asphyxiation. What kind of fuck shit is that? Motherfuckers want to say black lives, all lives matter. Shut the fuck up. Now, Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York, you know, she denounced this decision, saying like they, you know, her office presented the most comprehensive case possible, and even went on to say like this is a man that was in the throes of a mental health crisis. Like, he needed compassion and care and all of that, but he didn't receive any of that. Now, I know what some of y'all racist, and you might be thinking, you know, I ain't gonna call y'all racist, whatever, because we still in America, so you might be conditioned to think that, was he armed? Did he have a weapon? Now, you know, if he had a weapon, they would have shot his naked ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up, man. Green War and graduation, though. Reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So we are a year removed from the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. This is a 25-year-old black man that was actually killed while running for a jog down in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Killed by essentially 3 white men. You know what I mean? And you know, these men have been detained, but his mother has actually filed a multi-million-dollar civil lawsuit against the men for murdering her son. And they also have come to accuse the local law enforcement investigators of covering up evidence of the murder while the investigation was going on. So, you know, hopefully she get that bag. At the very least, you know, millions of dollars can't replace your son. You know what I'm saying? So shit is just fucking fat. I thought all lives matter, y'all. Green War and graduation, man. Reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, in California, specifically in Antioch, there was actually a wrongful death lawsuit that was filed, and it revealed some crazy details. The lawsuit was over the death of Angelo Quinto. This is a 30-year-old Filipino-American Navy veteran, and he was basically suffering a mental health crisis when his family had called 911 to come restrain him. They came, restrained him by, you know, basically pinned his legs and his arms down, whatever, and then they kneed on his neck and his back for 5 minutes. While the dude is on the ground, you know what I'm saying? He's even, you know, talking about like, please don't kill me, and all of that, whatever. And, you know, he went unconscious and then was taken to the hospital, and he died there 3 days later. So this happened this past December. I mean, we will see what turns out from this, man. It's like, man, you say all lives matter. Like, why is that happening? You know what I mean? Why? What's up, police? You know what I mean? Y'all wonder why motherfuckers say defund the police, man. Green War and graduation. Reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/music. You know what I'm saying? We got all types of music coming from the company Graduation Party, you know what I mean, the parent company. Definitely music from me. You know what I mean? You got the Black Fox News Presents New World Order album, which is also streaming on Spotify and all your favorite other streaming platforms. So make sure you go check that out, man. Support us and we continue to support y'all. Now, as far as this news, over in India, they actually granted cash bail to climate activist Disha Ravi, who had basically been detained and arrested on charges of sedition. You know what I'm saying? Which was considered to be trumped up. I mean, the judge said like the evidence against the trial was sketchy and scanty and sketchy. And it's like, well, what did she do? Yo, they got her for sharing a document that was tweeted by supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Niger, you had Mohamed Bazoum that actually won the presidential election. Now, he will be taking the reign from Mohamed Ousmane, and this will actually mark the first democratic transition of power ever for the presidency, but it didn't come without static. I mean, first off, Ousmane accused or alleged that there was voter fraud, but he didn't provide any evidence. You know what I mean? So, you know, Trump setting waves out here on the international scale with the wrong shit. But nevertheless, that happened. And then also keep in mind that 8 election officials were actually killed. Were killed since polling day, which was actually on Sunday, and killed by explosive devices. So like I said, motherfuckers came with that funk, but there will be a democratic transition of power in the country of Niger and Africa. Green War and Graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Malta, you actually had one man has actually pleading guilty. So the 2017 car bomb assassination of Daphne Caruana Galizia. This is an anti-corruption reporter, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that was covering a lot of big money scandals, or, you know, headed towards a big one between, like, you know, rich people and politicians and all of that or whatever. Vincent Muscat is one of the 3 men accused of murdering this woman. This actually is well, the man, you know, the person who pled guilty is actually getting 15 years, and there was actually 3 other men who had been arrested this week for supplying the car bomb to the man who actually ended up killing her. So we'll see how this all turns out. Green War and Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, man. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/LPAI. Let's post about it. Is what it's an acronym for. LPAI, LPAI, and it's actually the new social media platform that we creating. We actually have tutoring available. There's gonna be a lot of network opportunities and a lot of incentives and perks that will come with joining this platform or whatever. It'll be our own social media platform, these forums where we can actually build and have very constructive conversation, because you can actually share coding, you can share you know, video embeds, you could share documentation and all of that, you know, way more than you could do on your typical social media platforms or whatever, and also even share embeds from other social media platforms. So, yeah, I mean, definitely rock with us as we continue to rock with y'all, and we will be providing incentives for that soon. blackfoxnews.com/LPAI. Now, over in Algeria, this is you know, we are a year removed from after taking a year off from protesting. You had thousands of people actually hitting the streets of Algeria to get their protesting back. These are the same protests that actually led to the resignation of former President Abdelaziz Bouteflika in 2019. Now they're continuing to protest because, I mean, they basically took a year off due to the COVID-19 or whatever, but they were continuing to protest after his resignation because they wanted the power to go back to the people, essentially. So we'll see how this all turns out. Green War and Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So a group of Democratic senators have actually introduced legislation that is proposing applying sanctions on Juan Orlando Hernandez, who is the president of Honduras, which basically for, like, you know, corruption, and these sanctions would include, like, you know what I mean, blocking financial aid and preventing ammunition sales to the law enforcement over there. Now, this has always troubled me because, you know, Honduras and them having their like cocaine trials, being known for trafficking big amounts of cocaine. Hernandez's brother has already been prosecuted in the United States, actually linked to what El Chapo had going on and all of that, whatever. Like, the president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, has actually been linked to three separate drug trafficking cases in the U.S. or whatever, like major shit. So, you know, it's surprising that it took this long. I mean, this has been going on since under the Obama era. So we will see how this turns out. Green War and Graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So a lot of people, immigrants' rights activists especially, and advocates, are condemning the Biden administration's decision to reopen this migrant detention facility for youngins out there in Texas, specifically in the city of Carrizo Springs, however you want to pronounce it. Now, this was something that was briefly used by Trump in 2019. The Biden administration is claiming they need to use it to avoid overcrowding in other detention facilities due to COVID-19 and all of that, or whatever. But a lot of people were against the reopening of it because, specifically in this detention center, they don't feel like there's much oversight there. Like, you know, it's has bad, you know, they criticize the place for its bad conditions and how, you know, it little is known about how it operates over there. So we will see how this turns out. I'm sure ALC got something to say about it, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, we'll see. Green War and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Everybody understand that winter storm that happened in Texas last week, and the reaction to that, all the power going out in all of those areas or whatever, that shit was funny style. And a lot of people that are actually in the inner workers of these companies believe so too. That's why 5 out-of-state board members of Texas Electric Power Grid Operator ERCOT, E-R-C-O-T, have actually resigned. Now, mind you, this storm actually plunged millions into darkness. You had, you know, while these like freezing temperatures were coming in an area that isn't used to experiencing freezing temperatures. So you got people in the houses, in these houses, in the dark with fucking ice, you know what I mean, all on the ceilings and or all on their pipes and shit like that, destroying homes and all that. So shit was fucking bad. Also, Texas Electric Company, Griddy, actually has been hit with a $1 billion class action lawsuit for price gouging. You know what I'm saying? To basically taking advantage of the people with the in these conditions, whatever, and actually allowing prices to rise. You know what I'm saying? You got people out there with $16,000 electric bills. You know what I'm saying? In the matter of days. Like, so the shit was kind of insane. Biden said he's actually planning to travel to Texas this Friday. We'll see how this turns out. Green War and Graduation.